Hello, everyone. Long time since we met, but good evening from GEG Punjab and Amritsar. I am Dr. Narjeet, founder and leader, and with me is Mala ma'am, who is the
Good evening.
co-leader for GEG Punjab and Amritsar. And GEG, it's been a long time, so let's revise it once again. GEGs or Google Educator groups, they bring local educators together in person and online to provide a forum to share, to collaborate, to support each other in using technology in impactful ways with the students. So, no matter you are a professor or a principal or a student or admin or any other interested parties, all are welcome in the community of GEGs, and each group is organized by a local volunteer and is entirely independent from Google, which is a corporation. So now all the GEG events are free of charge, whether you are following up updates or events online or meeting or in person at an upcoming GEG event near you. It is all free of cost. So there are number of GEGs that are very successfully running in India right now. What is the number, Malam? 35 now.
Um, yes, ma'am, I believe.
I think more, yeah, more than 35. And yes, today we have a very interesting topic with which I was, it blowed me away when Abhishek talked about it. And this is about comics in the classroom, and that too NCRT aligned, right? So using comic strips in the classroom has been shown to be an effective way to teach the kids of varying ages, all across the ages, all across the age groups. Comics are very important. They work, with the class of 12th, also with 12th standard, also the students are really interested with comics and everything. You just have to talk about it and see the sparkle in their eyes. And they work because they give students opportunities to think. I believe they think critically and creatively while also putting into practice the fundamental literacy and cognitive abilities. So today's agenda is to train educators and all of us, me included, on how to use comics effectively in the classroom. Because you can give it as a pre-reading activity, you can give it as a assessment. I think assessment is something that we are going to talk about more today, how to use that as an assessment. And it is going to be a pretty interesting thing for me here and for all of us who have joined. And with me joining is Abhishek from Comics. Abhishek, will you like to introduce the institution? And Nandini, of course. Nandini, I'm meeting for the first time with Abhishek. Our connection goes long back. And we keep discussing about the pedagogies. And this was one of the pedagogies that brought us together on a platform where we could discuss more about how to get into comics or how to bring comics in the classroom to make children more interested in learning and how to use it as assessments. So I love when he talks about comics in the classroom. So that's a very
Good.
interesting thing, and we have been doing a lot of contests and competitions for children, and they have been participating in the activities, and they really enjoy it. So over to Abhishek, please.
Thank you so much, Narjeet ma'am, Ala ma'am, for having me here for the second time. So, I mean, it's really nice to see somebody passionate about comics. And with me today, I have Nandini. She's my co-founder. So, Nandini takes care of all the content creation and pretty much everything. So today, the basic idea is we want to talk about earlier when we spoke, I think last year, we are completing 2 years in about five
Right.
days. So our entire thing, what we've learned so far has been quite amazing. So what I want to talk about is last year we taught teachers how to make comics, but then in the middle, what we realized was teachers are burdened with a lot of things, and we thought we should not give them one more activity to try out, saying we need to be a solution and not one more problem. In a teachers, we wanted to be more of something, a tool which teachers can use in the classroom rather than saying, okay, you do this also. I know a lot of teachers do admin work, this, that. I know teachers' life is very hectic. I've been a
Oh,
teacher
tell
for
me
two
about it.
years.
Tell us about
I
it.
no, I don't want to. I just, I just from that time, my thing for teachers just went up. Making a classroom of 45 children sit down is not a joke. I
Not
used to
only
come
that,
home.
the back end of what they do, it's like
we
going,
are we are the designated clerks
yeah.
of the school. We do everything, right from being the teaching counselors to the clerks, to everything,
To the
every
records also. Yeah.
records, so everything the teachers have to do, everything. And
So
now
I
with
just
technology, so
realized,
they are overburdened.
but yeah, technology, people think it's easy, but somebody has to do the manual feeding.
It is not
So,
easy. It is interesting.
It's interesting.
it-
And it's
so
like
what?
time consuming also. You
Yes.
have to do that, you have to do this also as a teacher. And like for us,
And
it's like,
But
okay, technology is
it is
always useful.
easy for the students to understand things, but for teachers it takes hours to create content with technology. You have to
right,
really
Exactly.
really work really hard for that. But for students it is a great benefit, great if you go into the classroom decorated with you know technology and things.
right. But
Yeah,
again,
Yeah,
yes,
parents also.
exactly.
Deepti in the comments is writing, we become parents also at times. So we are all the time, we are parents also of theirs.
no,
And
sometimes I just wonder
as
how
a
teachers
add-on,
manage.
Abhishek sir,
Yes, ma'am.
all the as per the NEP, all the three C's are being focused in the comic strip. The
Right,
critical
that's the
thinking
whole
Yeah.
part,
idea,
the
man.
creativity, as well as the collaboration is there.
Yes,
The three C's which are required for the NEP is being
right.
touched in this particular thing.
Exactly, ma'am.
So,
That is the reason, like, yeah, comics will help in like NEP curriculum.
so what happened last year was when we launched Learn with Comics 2 years ago. See, we launched in December 2020. June 2020, Government of India launched their own comics. They made only, I think, or 10 or 20 they made, and they made schools do it. And teachers were not very happy because you have enough work already, and schools are being asked to make comics. So we've submitted our comics to NCERT. So they've been reviewing it for the last 2 years. So hopefully it will see the light of day sometime. So I mean, it's just a 13-page comic. So even if they had read half a page in 2 years, they should have completed by now. So we are waiting for them to get back. So what happened was, with these comics, we are a non-profit organization. We are funded by an investor, Dr. Aniruddha Malpani. So we keep telling sir, we keep talking about comics, and it's just we want more people to use it. He said, you offer a solution, don't be an additional problem. So I'm like, okay. So we went back to the drawing board, say, okay, how can we make it different, right? Because it's uh, generally, how a classroom happens. You would know better. You go in, it's a one-way street, right? You go in, the teacher is standing there talking for 30 minutes. One boy is writing something on the pencil. They are fighting. They are passing chits. Somebody is writing notes for the next class. See, I always wrote next I will write the homework in the next period. If the teacher is a nice teacher, I'll sit in the last seat and write a homework for the next class, which I mostly will be mathematics. And I've always done that all my life. So I knew it. So I'm seeing some boy in the back, I'll be like, you stop it. And especially those nice teachers, we take, a lot of advantage over them. So I'll be like, please, miss, I have to do this. So what we thought, what if we convert the classroom into a brainstorming session? you know so the entire idea about that is it has to become a two-way street. Children come in, like if you say a dressing competition, fancy dress competition, or a sports day, children come prepared, right? So they don't come to school and get ready. They come prepared. They enjoy it. The same child, if you go tell him to talk about some subject on the stage, he will be scared. But he wears a costume, he feels like Amitabh Bachchan and he's going standing with full confidence on the stage, because that gives you, because you're prepared. The idea is you're prepared. So we thought, let's do something interesting like that. Let's give teachers some pre-made comics where they can deploy in the classroom the day before. So especially difficult subjects. And the NEP also talks about reading, right? They're saying literacy rate has come down. So we have a new program that we are doing called Comic Library Program, which is a paid program in schools. So when we approach schools, the first thing they tell us, we are an English medium school. Why do we need a reading program? So studying in an English medium school has got nothing to do with reading skills. I know people who finished 4 years of engineering who cannot read one paragraph in English. So that's reading has not got nothing to do with knowledge in education and passing tests. And the second thing is assessment, as Najit ma'am pointed out. So when you make a comic, unless you know the subject, you cannot make a comic. You can always learn something You can learn it by heart and write any test. Indians are very, very, very good at mugging up. But the moment you come out, like, sometimes when we used to copy in tests in schools, the teacher will come in the last period and say, okay, you get up, tell me the answer now. Obviously, we won't remember because we just mugged and we wrote that on paper. So this assessment tool, if you tell a child, I mean, you don't have to draw like Da Vinci or Picasso, even a stick diagram. You tell a student, tell me what you've understood, and come back with a comic at what you've understood. Unless they really understood, they will not be able to do it. Like, in a class of 36 or 40, 40 students will shake their head if you say, did you understand? Everybody will shake their head. But 50% of them wouldn't have understood, right? They'll probably go home and study, or parents will tell them, or they'll come to the teacher, and we have our great tuitions anyway. So all this happens. So we wanted to break all this and keep education school centric, and let children and teachers have a life when they get back home. So one interesting topic, my friend told me that he runs an edtech company in Bangalore. He said child gets up at 7 o'clock, has a bath, breakfast, 8 o'clock, 8:30 he's in school. Till 3:30 he's in school, 4:30 comes back, washes hands, clothes, has a snack, 5 to 6 plays, 6 o'clock comes back, does homework till 8. If there is time, he watches TV or he has to study. 8:39 children go to sleep. So when do you give our children, time to think? They don't have time to think. We're just creating, like how China has a blue collar workforce. China's not, we have a white collar workforce, right? Anybody, if you say India, they're software engineers, right? We've never got a Nobel in a long time. We've never got any mathematics prize, writing prize, nothing. I think after Arundhati Roy, I think only one or two people actually got it. Even the Booker Prize, I think Arvind Adiga or something. So it's like we kind of, it's like bad for the teachers, the students, the entire ecosystem. So we believe that comics can make a difference. And thankfully, NEP has got that also right now. They've said, like, you introduce comics in the classroom. So we thought, no, we have 3,500 comics across subjects. So we've broken it down lesson wise also. So you don't have to, give them the entire gyan. You can go lesson wise. So I'll have Nandini start the presentation now, and we can go on. Nandini, please. Ma'am, every 10 minutes, if there is a doubt, we'll break, go for the questions, and then go back. Or we can have a Q&A in the last. It's up to you.
I think it would be nice if I have a question popping up in my comment box. I'll take it
Super.
up with Nandini. Otherwise, we won't break the flow of the session. We'll take the Q and
Fantastic.
A at the end, right? Yeah,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nandini here. I've been into like teaching profession. I was like assistant professor working in engineering college. Then I had experience of like doing embedded system projects and all. But luckily, like I find it like for my children, I had to do something. So I shifted my career from that to making comics and all. So this here we do comics for all grades from grade 1 to 12. At the same time, we do comics based on different subjects, general education, science and technology, all sort of comics we manage. But the main fund of the comics here, what we do is we'll break the complex topics into a better understandable bite chunks. So that is the main thing where we learn with comics is like trying to do the textbook content into a visuals and narratives with a simple English and little bit humor added. So this is we, and we are an NGO. We have like a team of 5 members working for this. Now going to second slide. Now, the main agenda of today's workshop is like why we should use comics in the classroom and what are the benefits of the comics and how can we make it like pre-reading section or activity so that we can introduce a new concept into the classroom and what is the advantages if you introduce new concept into the classroom prayer a day. Now, this slide shows us like we know like the when we take a boring subjects and all the text is there, so some students will be afraid to read the text so that like they lose interest in like reading the topic and they might like mug up the questions and attend the examinations. So here what we do is we select the boring subjects and boring concepts It's a boring in the sense for a kid, it's a boring, but actually they're interesting because you all know when we take some visuals and narratives, we can make it like very, very, very good concept of that. So that will mainly focus on physics, chemistry, biology, and maths. So these concepts will take. What we'll do is we'll first write up a story and text. If Let us take example of like force and motion. What we'll do is we'll take the main key points from that. We'll make a hero character. That hero character is now explaining the concept of science where we find it a little bit interesting. So that is like how we make the subjects into more engaging form, and the illustrations are also make the concept very easy to understand. If a child is like very much into like this panic, like I'm not going to get the force and motion. So the thing is, if he see once he sees the images, definitely he'll have that focus to read it. What is that actually? So what the superhero is telling. So the main concept why we say the art of this storytelling and visual learning helps in education. Yeah. So this is the thing. What we want to tell you is, okay. So here the thing is like when we see a student perspective, a student, the curriculum is very good built and the textbook is there. We have lot of resources, but student perspective is the system is the one which you are accumulating all different type of learning capability students into one system. So where we stand is, can we try to change the system so that the children will feel like it's very easy to understand the subject, and yes, I can also contribute to the subject. So that is the main reason where our comics stand along with the NEP curriculum. Now this I'll request like Abhishek to carry on with this, how we can use comics in
Sure.
the classrooms, like.
So basically, ma'am, one thing that we have realized is, as I said, a lot of children are classified into, smart learners and not so smart learners. But generally, children are all smart by default. Their understanding is different, and the way they need to be taught is different. That's all. So nowadays, teachers are, back in the day, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, teachers didn't understand that. But teachers today know it, right? They know that there are different types of learners in their classroom. But one advantage is any type of learner will automatically be attracted to visuals. That is a common denominator among all students. So how do, if you go into a class, some might understand, they'll say, okay, we'll teach you later. With comics, you don't need that, right? Because an image speaks 1,000 words, a picture speaks 1,000 words. We try to incorporate a lot of text, I mean, in a general textbook. But when the comic, what happens? It's all visual representation. And most of us remember, even when we are telling directions to any place, no, we say take a signal left, there'll be a circle, take a right in the signal, there'll be this shop, it's right behind that shop. So these are visuals that we imagine, and we have a deep memory that can hold on to images. So we thought we'll take advantage of that part of our brain and use comics in the classroom, because they can teach you any subject. You want to learn rocket science, you want to learn coding, you want to learn any subject. I will share that with Mala ma'am also. We had a very interesting topic on coding with comics. So it can happen with anything. Comics can teach you absolutely anything. So mostly children fear biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics. These are the ones that predominantly everybody is scared because they don't understand. We are also in a hurry. We need to complete portions and all that. We don't have time to pick every child and help them move forward. Though teachers give it that 300%. But with comics, you don't have to worry about that. A child will automatically understand how to use it. So all you have to do is use a comic, tell a child, just go out, read the comic, come back. So when the child, he, she, they, when they come back into the classroom, they are absolutely prepared, right? So I'll show you a sample comic. Um, so this is about mirages and in the desert. So when I was in school 20 years ago, I never where will I go see where a mirage is? Where you people living in the north can see the Thar desert or whatever. We living in the south, we have no access to deserts. Just like most people in the north don't have access to beaches, people in the south don't have access to deserts. So I'm never going to understand the mirage. How am I going to do it? Right? So people are like, we see it even on the road on a very hot, sunny day. So we thought we'll use a simple comic to understand. So if you're teaching about the desert the next day, we print it in textbooks. There are YouTube videos. YouTube videos are like mugging up, right? You see the visuals, it is more entertainment. You see it, you forget it, and you move on. You'll just say, I saw one YouTube video somewhere. You won't know what YouTube video it is. But with a comic, because you read it, our parents used to say, always write down what you read. Because when you write down what you read, reading and writing will improve your memory. And that is science. So this kind of comic encourages children to go home. If you tell them to read page 14, 15, 16, 95% of the case, child will not read it. Right? They are either reading it before class or early in the morning. They'll never do it, or the parents are forcing them to read it. There's going to be no voluntary thing to do it. If there is no voluntary interest to learn something, you know how difficult learning becomes. So we make these kind of comics to make learning interesting. For example, I'll go to the next slide
Yeah, here I
where
would like
we
to
have.
add one more point.
Sure.
Sorry. The video, the problem is like the video also nowadays we are seeing many animation videos, many content videos we are seeing, and even like we are trying to learn from it. But only disadvantage is that doesn't let a child brain to think is it correct or wrong. So only like what it can do is animation, a free flowing video. When you see, we feel okay, the concept is there, we are able to understand. But it never lets a child to give a gap, think, write or read. So that is the reason where the video and comic and textbook differs. Thank you. Can
So yeah, so we'll move on to the next slide. So this is
this is
a
like my
textbook
favorite
that we
comic.
made. This is pending with the NCERT for approval. So this comic is grade 6, electricity. So I think in the book it is about 23 pages if I remember right. The NCERT textbook is about 23 pages, and to be very honest, it's very long content. Right, the content is very long. Let me just open the comic for you and show you a rough idea. Nandini, can we show them the comic?
Let me like share on the screen.
Yeah. With StreamYard, we have to upload
Yeah.
the content.
Malavan, can I upload it directly now? Like link I have to upload.
You don't have to upload anything, Nandini. Just click on present.
1 minute now.
Click on present. That at the bottom of your screen, you will see a computer screen, a desktop with a plus sign inside. Do you see that on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, present. Yes,
Click
ma'am.
on that, and then you can present. You can either
Okay,
present
share
slides
screen.
or your file, right?
Oh
So
yeah, you
there's
can show
nothing
screen.
we don't have to upload.
Super. Okay, we can just show the screen.
Yeah. So I'm sharing the screen.
So we're just gonna quickly run you through the comic.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go
So
into
that
detail.
yeah. This one, and I think all the educators we know like electricity comic in the NCERT textbook. I think everyone is able to see my screen, right? Can anyone
Yeah.
confirm?
Yes. It's visible.
The story, yeah, the actual part of this NCRT book is like it's very good. I loved it. I have spent like 2 days to reading that content what the NCRT has given. But what I found is from start to end, I was not able to find it like why I'm starting a cell, why I'm taking a cell, and why I'm ending with a bulb. So what we did is the same story, the same content we have taken from the textbook itself. We have not chosen any other media. Then we have made some four characters. So who will be explaining you like what is power about electricity, how it is useful in the house. The first concept. So we have taken the same electric cell. It got 5 subtopics. We have made 3 subtopics here. So the story will start with some rain so that I can have a proper understanding of the power and current and voltage because it's still we use there's a power shutdown. Now someone will see the current. So all the terms we had like properly we have analyzed and used in the comics. Now using simple battery, we have taken same thing which is in the textbook. There we have shown like batteries and cells and conducting material, which we have used here. The torchlight. Can I go slow, ma'am, or like shall I share the link after the session? What do you prefer?
We'll share the link after the session, I think.
I'll just run through the slides then.
Yeah, just show them the idea.
Yeah. Here we have made like it's not gender difference, everything we have covered. So no gender difference. Everyone can work, everyone can teach.
So we also made a comic specifically to show a father in the kitchen, because
Exactly.
most of the time, we always say mother is cooking, and now we are in a different world where men, women, everybody is working, and we don't want children to have a narrow-minded approach towards mother is cooking, father is working. So we
Yeah,
also
that
try
that's
and
great.
include that.
That's great too. That's great too.
Exactly.
Such
Yeah.
gender
Always we
sensitivity.
brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Always we'll brainstorm when we pick a topic. So always like I say like mother is going to in the kitchen. No, he says no. Let's make a difference. Then we write a story on it.
Because I
And here
can
you
cook.
can see.
So, sorry, go on.
Yeah, here you can see the images like without any text, very little bit of text. We have made like only the images will speak. What is positive, negative, what is stripping, how will you connect? That's all done. Now I can do a connection of the battery and the bulb.
So this is actually a two-page text, which we can actually just show with a few images.
And here also an electric circuit also. The same sequence, what we bought is like a story. And here, like we have added one simulation also in this comic. This is all link
So
will share you like how to do what is series circuit, how the power if the circuit is broken, why it won't work. Everything you can see it here, man.
so we're working on something called simulations and all that. So where children can actually try it out. So that is work in progress. We hope to launch it sometime next year soon. So basically, what a comic does is makes it simple, right? But I don't know if there are any physics teachers here, science teachers. They should be able to tell us if a student will be able to get around 50 marks with this, right? So
So glad
reading
to
a
hear,
comic,
ma'am.
we can see if they can get a certain mark from reading this, and read your textbooks obviously will be additional. So hopefully we'll be on the Diksha app soon once everything is approved, because it takes quite a long time for comics to get approved. So once we are on Diksha app, more access will be there. All our comics are free. So you can try, if you have a smart board, you can use it in the classroom. If you don't have a smart board, you can always send a link to the child. And our comics also work on low data. So if you have a very poor data connection, it works. It doesn't take much time to, it doesn't take much data. So if you say today data is very cheap, I think for 300 rupees a month, you get really good data. So that is should not be an issue. I think post COVID, children and parents and teachers have all understood that the importance of technology and all that. So data is freely available except in certain parts of the country. So this can be given in both ways. So
What
we
about
would
integrating with the classrooms and all, Google Classroom
We are
or
working on that, ma'am. We are working on that. So it'll be
okay.
easily available where they can easily do it. So we are also thinking of doing Google Slides. So we encourage
Hmm.
every teacher in America and all, every teacher of every class has their own website. So with
Yep.
Google Slides, you can easily have a website. For 1035 rupees, you can buy your own domain.
Yeah.
Najit ma'am has her own website, so you'll know better. So with Google Slides, every classroom can have, they can easily have they can have their own website and say, embed our link. All you have to do
Hmm.
is tell the children, send the link saying this is what we're going to learn tomorrow. So every child comes prepared to the classroom. So you start talking about a topic, one child will raise his hands and say, I read this. So that is what collaboration that we were talking about. Then
Hmm.
some child would have actually made a drawing and come saying, Ma'am, I tried this. Some child will actually get a battery to the classroom. So we don't have to tell them, do this, do that. They become self learners.
Yep.
children automatically become self-learners. And self-learners, it lasts for a long time. There are certain habits like, saying tobacco or alcohol. People say, you quit. You cannot quit when somebody tells you. You have to do it on your own. Education is very, very, very similar to that. When there is a self-learner, the learning and the impact lasts for a longer time, as opposed to us telling children what to do. And we strongly believe that, we went to a rural school, ma'am, in Tamil Nadu, a place called Thuthukudi. It's right at the south. So we took all Tamil comics. It's a government school. So we took Tamil comics in the school. And the principal tells us, we don't want Tamil comics, we want English comics. And I was completely shocked because we were
Sure.
not. So we went into the classroom, and a private trust is running the classroom, and they have a 2 lakh smart board in the classroom. They said, yeah, we have a super smart board funded by somebody, so you can show the comics here. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, fine. I showed the comics, and within 5 minutes, one girl raises her hand. I said, yes. She's like, I want to read the comic. I want to read it out. I said, the entire comic? She said, yeah. So for the next 10 minutes, that girl stands there and reads the entire comic in fluent English. She made one pronunciation mistake, which is absolutely pardonable. And I was shocked. I was shocked, saying, the children we underestimate them,
Oh
right?
yes,
Yes.
that's what we talk in the class also when teachers say कि बच्चे नहीं कर पाएंगे मैम.
Mhm.
मैंने कहा बच्चे कर लेंगे, आपने करना है कि नहीं करना है, पहले आप अपना माइंड मेकअप कर लो. बच्चे तो कर
Sure.
लेंगे, बच्चों को तो आप कुछ भी दोगे वो करेंगे.
Achieve कर लेंगे and they make us to learn also. You know the important part here is once they do something, they are making us to learn more. So it's like
Actually
we are learning from them actually.
they are
And because all these
inspirational.
comic सच में like हम लोग ये भी जो भी बना रहे हैं comics और जो भी I think like उन लोग का question is like teaching us to do something better than like what we have.
So
Yeah.
our first experiment is always our children. So I
Yeah.
have a 7-year-old. He has a 7-year-old. So tell her, read the comics, give honest opinion. Now the daughter is pestering her every day, saying, I want to read comics now.
I'm shocked that she was
So
not able to read the lockdown. Totally, I was like doing my work. I didn't like thought about my daughter. She has to read. I left her. To be frank, I left her because I have to make comics. And what happened is now I'm trying to teach her something, so I started giving her comics. Now, first she is like very good at drawing, so she had that craze. Like I have taught her which lesson I think Poonam's Day or something I taught her, and I went to education. When I came back, I saw all the drawings, no text, not even the text. So I can see, okay, she's going out. She's like in the. Then I understood, okay, this is what's I'm working. Then I thought, okay, I'll give the prompt. What happened now is now she can able to read. I'll share the video, like I have shot it without her knowledge. She's able to read the comic. Now she's reading seventh grade comics. So really, it was like. Then I thought my product is working, so we have to do it. This is my
so
personal
like
experience.
like validation comes from home, right? So
Yeah.
it's not right to test out things on other people's children when you don't give it to your own. So first we give it to our own, we see their reaction. If they say not good, we scrap it, right?
Yeah.
So we test it on our own children before launching it outside. So if they are able to understand, right?
No, confidence
So
level is
then,
good.
yeah, so our content level is good. And we send comic references to Nandini's children. She reads. Her daughter is our biggest brand ambassador. She says, I read it in my mother's comic. So now
She
the
always like
parents.
comments about drawing also. She says like, "Oh, this is not working. The sun is not out. So how can you say the sun is in?" So that kind of comments we'll get.
So we are getting a lot of parents reaching out to us and reading our comics thanks to her daughter.
Thank you so
So
much.
Moreover to add on this, like when I was in the schooling, how can one forget the adventures of Tintin and
correct,
Yeah,
Snowy? That was
correct.
exactly now.
only comic strip that we enjoyed during our childhood days.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so newspapers also publish it. So we thought, we can use it in education. Like in America and all, they use Avengers, Batman and all, but we don't have
Yeah.
the permission to use it. So they use Batman to teach, Avengers to teach. We're also trying to speak to the company that makes Chacha Chowdhury, saying that, we want to bring Sabu back and teach science with Sabu or something like that. So we are in discussion with them.
Why don't they give permission? Because of copyright issues or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
No, not
They,
only
they,
that, I believe violations are also there. I believe they don't encourage those things in India.
and a lot of things that the new generation has taken over the company. So we hope that they will be open to a lot of this. So we
Yeah.
want to create comic ambassadors like Wakelet and quizzes. Like
Hmm.
quizzes is nice, but you can find those kind of quizzes pretty much everywhere.
Hmm.
So it's not nothing special that I have seen, but they put the teacher in front, right? The teachers are the heroes, right? But we never celebrate them except on Teachers Day. Once a year we
Yeah.
celebrate our teachers, right? So as I said, when I've been a teacher, I realized every single difficulty a teacher faces. From then on, I never criticize, I never comment. I know how difficult it is,
That's really true. I was
and
like being assistant professor engineering college. At the time, I was thinking teaching is one and all for grade one to everyone, and I'm like very happy. But when I understood going into the school and teaching, oh my god, teachers are really I should this
it's
is
And
very
the
which I was
difficult.
best,
feeling.
I find the pre-nursery teachers the most hardworking. You
Oh,
have to introduce a new language
yeah,
to
yeah.
the child.
They are
I mean,
definitely
we
Padma Shri
And
worthy, ma'am.
very
Definitely,
true,
And the thing
very
definitely.
is,
true.
as a parents, we have to accept sometimes that we cannot do. And the teachers are able to feed children with what the curriculum is in. When it comes to curriculum, I'll be freezed. I can teach general things, but if when it comes to curriculum, I'll be freezed. Even though I'll make curriculum, yeah. But I
It's
really
Yeah,
it's very
respect
tough.
teachers. Yeah.
it is very
So
tough
yeah,
teaching these primary classes or
mm.
pre-primary. It's really, really tough to grab their attention for an
Yeah.
entire day. It takes a mammoth task. It is a
So
mammoth task. I mean,
I when I started teaching out, I had fourth standard. So I'm going in. They will all shout. They will shout, and there will be pandemonium in the classroom. So I had a friend who was teaching in the opposite class. She will just walk in and say, "Sit down." That's it. That's it. They will all sit down. And I was like, how do you do it? She's like, you need to give, they need to look up to you and respect you to do that. And if you can get a 5-year-old to respect the not one, 35-year-olds to sit and respect you, it's
No,
not a
not
joke.
possible. Not
It's not
possible, I
possible.
feel.
We can't even get our own children to listen to us to put the phone down. So it's like, then we realized, Nandini, we'll move on to the next slide. I wanted to show them the other one that we
Ma'am,
have.
yeah, it's like my screen is sharing,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like after
So
like boring stuff and all, little bit exciting. We'll try. This is like we are always saying like comics are for reading and writing. So if the gig educators are ready, so can we have a special like? What's your thought in this panel? Can I have some comments or interactive?
So basically, the first one is a blank panel. You let it to the child's imagination. Second one, we filled it up, just for reference sake. But this, it'd be nice if educators could also try it out. I mean, you can write anything you want. There is no
Yeah, just
curriculum
for
here.
interaction. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
for just for us.
So we'll just give them like a minute or something. Take 2-3 minutes. Just see what this is all about. Come up with an idea. You can always save it, maybe screenshot it or something like that. You can come up with absolutely anything with this.
okay, educators, it's time to get creative. So let's see what comes out of it. So we are um looking into a topic for writing. Mala ma'am, let's decode this here. So what do we do? What do we write for? Uh, they have given about an astronaut's a thought or
That is
thoughts.
like our view, ma'am. That
I'm
is
Yeah.
I'm
literally
very happy that I got selected for the Mars this one, and I'm standing over the globe.
super, ma'am. Thank
Mars
you.
expedition.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
Mala, we have to make our own writing comic. So come on,
yeah,
So we
sure.
one comic.
we have like lots of blank templates as well.
Yeah.
So we'll share that. Ma'am, we sent you a landing page the other day, Narjeet, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
so that you can use. There are blank templates in that. So the
Should I share
educators
it
can
with
come
the?
up.
I though I have already shared that.
Mhm.
Before the session began, I wanted them to explore more, see what we're going to talk about. As you said, come prepared to the class.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had already shared that, but I'm going to do that again
Yeah, but
right
this will
now.
be good now
So,
that they
ma'am,
have
for
seen
like
the session.
one, yeah, ma'am. Like 1 hour time, like after 1 hour, we'll be updating all the templates, like whatever we want to add, more content we want to add in the same landing page. So, आप same landing page set कर सकते हैं उसके बाद. and we
So
have like a certification form also there.
so they can just fill out their names and we'll share the certificates of this program. But it'll be really nice
Yes,
if everybody could try it out and give feedback to Narjit ma'am, who will share it with us.
Yep.
Nandini, we'll move to the next slide so we can
sure,
we
sure.
have another 10, keep 5-10 minutes for Q&A session if anybody has.
Here, yeah, what we have done is the same comic. Like instead of slide, the video is not working here. I think. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so we made this, we just play this on a video. Nandini, play this on a video that we have. So we'll quickly play this video. We have this as a comic as well. This is all based on NCERT. I think we should be better prepared for StreamYard next time.
okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's loading. Yeah.
We have not added voiceover because we don't want to give a read aloud concept at all.
So here we clearly explain, ma'am, solids, liquids, how they are packed, right? Unfortunately, we don't have time in the classroom to show these kind of examples. But a simple bottle filled with water, liquid takes the shape of the container it is in. So all these are simple examples that we can actually just pull out a water bottle and show. That's how solid are packed. That's how liquid piece of wood can show you how it's done. Gases, how they spread. So these are very simple topics where children will immediately be able to relate. We don't have to go deep into any session, any topic. So these are pretty simple, very, very, very simple, that you can show in the classroom. A simple balloon, a simple bottle of water, a piece of wood. They can actually teach you everything. And we also put in keywords. Now all our comics come with a dictionary in the bottom. So you can actually, if you have a doubt, you can actually put your word in and the child can actually see the dictionary and understand that word. Suppose back in the day we used dictionaries. I don't know if people still use dictionaries, but yeah. So we had another dictionary. This is another interesting comic that we made for grade 4. It's a very thing. There are tons of videos on the internet, but mostly they're all aimed at, I think, Punjab curriculum. But they are pretty interesting videos. Nandini, can we move to the next slide?
Yeah, this comic link also will be sharing in the landing page because here we have made here. I want to add one more point for grade 1 to 5. We have not only made a comic, we have worksheets, we have coloring activity, so everything. So I want to present my screen and just show you the glimpse of like how the 1 to 5 is there. Yeah, here you can see here we have a comic in a flipboard, and you can see activity worksheet. So here we want to give the motor skills, the coloring, everything we want to give in one comic. So this is the whole idea why we made this into comic and worksheet and a coloring activity. So this links will be I'll be sharing with you on the same landing page.
And I also want to add one more point. A lot of parents and teachers might be considering that there are, children are spending too much time on digital learning. All our comics are, we have something called HILS, high impact learning and low screen time. So all our comics maximum will take only 5 to 10 minutes. So children you don't have to think, oh, they are already on the phone all the time. So it'll be very, very low screen time. So we're trying to pack everything within that. So your child doesn't have to spend more than 30 minutes. We're also launching a reading program in June, which will have we have around 400, 200, I think 400 comics, where children, it's a comic library program just like a physical library, a comic will come every week to the child. So weekly they spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes reading a topic. We have different topics under the sun. What is a submarine? What is this? What is that? Because children today know everything. So we want to introduce the basics of everything. So we have tons, bees talk to each other. If you find two sets of bees, they talk to each other. If they are next to each other, they don't want to fight. They don't fight like humans. They don't say, this is my house, this is your. They talk. They all combine, fly for 45 minutes, and they go back. They have a discussion and go back. So these kind of topics are really fun. I didn't know about it a few weeks back. So till then I didn't know. So we start, we make comics on that. Wheels, for example, nobody knows who invented the wheel, right? Nobody cares also. But you know how wheels have changed our life. It is one of man's greatest inventions today, right? But we don't know who came up with it. So we want children to learn something like that, But 50 years ago, we are using carts. Before that, we were using something else. How did we build the pyramids at Giza? How did we build these, big churches and temples and mosques? So all that science was there. So we want to break down all that into small bite-sized subjects. Will be 1 or 2 pages only maximum. So that also we've added links. You know about the house fly, ma'am, that we use that tennis racket to kill. That is an extremely intelligent insect, the fly. So for a fly, when it sees you, you are moving in. For it, you're moving in slow motion. So when you take a racket, so we do this, but the fly sees it like this. So you always think how the fly escapes before you kill it, right? It's
Really?
because, yeah. So I'll send
Then
you
we
a
have
shot.
a comic. I will share it with you. You are excited.
So it's like that. So I was shocked when I made that comic. I'm like, really? That was my exact reaction. So
Exactly.
they move faster. So they are smarter than us technically. So
So,
that kind of
Oh,
thing is
okay.
now
like,
I understand how they guess our movements, man.
so you are 10 times or 100 times slower for the flight. So they
So
are
Ah,
like
follow
okay.
हम
your,
लोग ये पढ़ते भी नहीं है. When we see a comic, like we are reading now, we are learning. At this age we are learning. So
you're
I feel
starting
like
all over again.
we
Ah.
when we do a comic, we read it, learn it. No, the experience is really beautiful, and I want all the educators to feel it, so that it's like how easy the subject we can make in the classroom. I really would suggest the comics in
Like
the classroom.
also I wanted to add just before quickly we finish up, we won an India Bioscience Outreach grant. So
Yeah,
we applied with two scientists, two genetic scientists from Banaras Hindu University, Dr. Garima Jain and Dr. Chandana Basu. So we won a grant of 1.5 lakhs. So if any school here is interested in learning genetics in your school, we'll share that link. It's free. If you're in Varanasi, it's absolutely free. Dr. Basu and Dr. Jain will go directly and teach.
yeah.
If you're in Chennai, we'll teach. So in other parts of the country, we want to train the trainers. They are genetic scientists, and Dr. Basu has also won a 2 crore grant which she's working
Oh,
on. Her husband is working on the genome projects. So if you want to trace your ancestry, where you come from, are you Aryan, Dravidian, is that concept real? Everything they're working on. So we've created a
and
character.
Varanasi is the hub of this kind of study.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. And Kashi Tamil Sangamam, he has released one article saying like how like we exist, our genes. So it's very good article that I'll share with you. And
So how is the
what is
link?
the main thing is ये लोग पूरा like genetic explain करने के लिए they are taking the help of the chemist and like it's like very
So
proud moment for us.
yeah, it's like more like a validation, right? If
Yeah,
academia is reaching out to learn with comics, so that was a very big thing. So we created a character. They teach about fingerprints. Every fingerprint is unique. So
Hmm.
our first session is on fingerprints. We are starting in January on 27th. So if any school is interested in the Varanasi region, they can reach out to us. We'll share those links as well. So they can have Dr. Basu. She'll go there and explain. She's also a professor in the Banaras Hindu University, apart from doing research. So it's a very interesting thing. So that is a big validation for us that academia is accepting us. Like
yes.
comics can be
Absolutely.
used in academia. That means they can very well be used in schools.
Absolutely.
So we'll
Absolutely.
also share some things like we'll share links with you that you can we'll figure out how to embed in the Google Classroom. So it'll be easy for teachers to assign comics to children. They come prepared. So we'll be able to, and if also if any school wants an individual session on how to do it, they can always reach out to us. We'll share the presentation also with you, Narjeet ma'am, so you can send it to them, and they can also leave the email address so that we'll send them newsletters. We create comic newsletters on how comics can be used in the classroom. So if you have requests, also we'll be able to share those specific comics also with you. So
Mhm.
that is it. So I think that's a wrap. So if anybody
And
has any
today's session
questions,
also we have a newsletter, ma'am. Already it's there. So everything like we'll be sharing in the landing page. They can subscribe there. They can like ask for more. We are always ready for help, and we are always open. If the teacher is having any idea to develop a content, we really love to do it.
Yeah, so when we're talking about the landing page, that is the same link that Abhishek had shared with me,
yes, yes.
right? So on the
लेकिन मैं
landing
अपडेट
page,
करने जा रही हूँ. Yeah, I
हाँ
have to
जी, आप
update
अपडेट
that.
करिए. um, I'll send you the that YouTube link that I have sent, Nama. You can update that as well along with this.
अच्छा, okay.
This video is going to be available there if they want to. So
Perfect.
yeah, so if you want to see the session again, or if you have missed it today and you want to see how comics can be used in the classrooms for assessments, for reading is something that English teachers get a little more excited about, like me. So yeah, so if you are using comics for reading purposes and for assessments, all of us are going to use that. And it is a it is a wonderful way of grabbing the attention. The children these days, especially, I see their attention span is minimum.
Yeah,
I mean, they
yeah,
diversions are
quite
multiple.
nice.
Yeah, so there are quite many divisions, and that is something that we're really struggling with, especially in primary classes. So educators, if you are from primary classes, and if you really want to bring something really exciting and learning, yes, I get a validation from many teachers here in the comments. So yes, they are doing that, and it's a wonderful way of capturing the attention, the creativity, and the critical thinking, most importantly,
Right.
of the students. Not only are they going to be creative, but they can also apply. Application is also equally important. So I think comics does that wonderfully well. Now, one thing about the certificates that you were talking about, Abhishek, so how am I going to share the certificates with them? It's going to be on that
And
landing page, right?
landing page we'll be embedding one form, ma'am. So that form will be available 1 or 2 hours after the session.
All
So they
right,
have to
people,
just
give
give their
me a
email. No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
they
please,
can like
please go on.
directly give their email ID and name. So they will download to their Gmail.
By
All
8
right.
o'clock,
So
it should
I
be
am
up.
going to give you only one link today, not multiple links. I'll give you
Not
one link
multiple.
today. It is going to be the landing page, specially created for today's session and today's program. It is going to have the links for the YouTube session that we just had. So, in case you missed it or you want to revisit the session, you can do that. And you're going to have the certificates also. You just have to fill out your details, and the certificates are going to be in your inbox. And you are going to what else is going to have that landing page? I mean, I have seen that.
Everything
um,
that we are doing
Templates.
right now,
Yeah,
ma'am.
so
we have
templates.
templates.
So yeah, I was forgetting templates. Wonderful templates were there on the landing. I tried multiple ones, and I took the screenshots, and I wrote something, and I forwarded to
Wow.
my friends. We created memes on that,
Oh,
with that templates also.
Ma'am, we would
we've
like to see
actually
it,
made an
ma'am.
entire quiz
So
with memes.
yeah, yes, yes.
So you can
So
do anything.
my
That's
daughter
creativity,
created.
ma'am. That's all.
Yeah.
Super, super.
So
So
we went
workshop is
forward,
like food
and
for us.
so we had a template, and I shared it with my friends, and then we started writing something with our pen tabs and everything, and we created a beautiful meme in no time. So things happen when you want it to happen. As Abhishek said, nobody
Right.
can make you learn. If you want to do, you will do. When nothing,
Yes.
there's no stopping you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was a
And also,
wonderful program, especially about that fly. That is still
I will
recall in
share
my
that meme
mind.
with you, ma'am. It's
I
very
And
had
mind blowing.
thousands of
yeah, and
flies.
I'd
What
like
a
to add
fact.
one.
Sorry, Mala,
Yeah.
ma'am.
It has thousands of lens type of eyes. It's a compound eye.
Ah, Mala, you never shared that with me, ma'am. It is very bad. Yeah.
Comics and
No,
Ogiana, ma'am, this one.
no, we are
Yeah,
all with
and
all those thousand tentacles, but those are thousand eyes.
No, our
okay.
tentacles
That's
come
very
out. Seeing people around us.
And
But
yeah, I would like to add one more point. In the landing page, we have a calendar link also. we can also like teach the students how to make their own comics. So the school which is interested, they can
Yeah,
like
so
reach
if the
out us.
schools are interested, they can reach out to either Abhishek or Nandini on their landing page. And if you want to have an individual session for teachers, a training session for teachers, or something really
Absolutely.
exciting for the students also, please reach out to them. They are doing amazing work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing. I
Thank
love
you,
what
ma'am.
they do. I love. Please do subscribe to their newsletter. It is one good thing that I really find in my inbox. Though I have subscribed to many newsletters, unsubscribed later, but this is something I am keeping. They are very really good. So I love reading them. I love the templates that they, and there are so many templates, so many. So one job less for teachers there if they
You
want
can
to
absolutely,
create
actually,
something.
you can just
I
upload on Canva,
I
ma'am.
also
It's
tried
very easy.
my hands, as Abhishek said, for a
Mhm.
modern crow, 2K crow. I made a small series. I sent it also, as
Oh,
well
yeah.
as for X
Wow.
and Y coordinates.
Yeah, yeah, I
Ah,
remember.
yes.
We have that on our website. So we want to
Ah,
do,
Mala is a celebrity.
yeah,
Mala.
we put it long time. Oh, I think it's almost a year old.
Almost a year old. The
Yeah,
last session that we had, Mala got
yeah.
very excited and she created quite a few. She
So
will
we
Yeah.
have
share
most
that
of it.
with me very
And that is
often.
a like real motivation for us, once a workshop turning like getting comics and reading newspapers. Yeah, it's a wow.
So if
So
anybody
thank
has
you
any
so much.
questions, we'll be happy to answer, or they can mail us or whatever. I will leave our numbers also with you. Najit ma'am has it.
Please
So
leave it on your
anything they
landing
can,
page.
we'll
All
have to
four.
there.
Exactly. सब कुछ है landing page में
Very
like
good.
एक landing page everything.
You
Everything is
have
there.
made my task easier. I just had to create so many links, but one
Nothing.
landing page and I am done. Thank you so much. So
Even
people,
you
I'll be
send
Yeah.
us
sharing
your
them.
video. Please send
No,
us this
ma'am. The
video
way
also.
we
We'll
are
embed
thinking
that.
after, हाँ हम लोग जो कॉमिक करने के बाद the way we think, okay चलो, so we have to do it this way.
Make it easy
Ah,
But
for
it will
everyone.
take time, ma'am, to update this
never
certificate
mind.
and this video.
I'll send the
By
link
8.
tomorrow.
Hmm. Perfect.
Tomorrow morning. First thing tomorrow morning also will do for
Fantastic.
us.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am, for the time. Wishing everybody a great Christmas and a new year. So we just hope
Great
it's
Christmas,
going to be a wonderful
everyone.
year.
Yeah, I really hope you have a blast of a new year and you
Thank you.
have a great year ahead. Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you so much.
everybody, and a
Merry
very
Christmas. Happy.
very happy new year. What, you know, festival is in the air, as we say.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So
and being
let's
on
make the
GEG
best use.
Punjab and Amritsar, representing a community that I belong to, I
Who
also would
loves
like
celebrate.
to, yeah, I also would like to you know, we are observing on 26th, on Monday, we are observing the martyrdom day of Chote Sahibzade, as we call, who were the younger sons, two younger sons of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And their martyrdom is something that everybody should know about. I mean, they did everything. Um, I get goosebumps even talking about that. So read more about it. Do that. And Monday we
So
are going to observe it. And in Delhi, if you are in Delhi at ma'am, which stadium is that? I'm forgetting in
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
excitement.
Jan Singh, Jan Singh.
yes.
Dhyanchand.
Jan
Yeah,
Chand,
okay, Jan Singh.
the
In the
hockey player.
Dhyanchand Stadium. Yes, that hockey player. We are going to have a huge, Government of India and the DSGMC, that is Delhi Sikh Gurdwara Management Committee. They are coming together to put up a great program to not celebrate, but yes, observe the great martyrdom of these the four children. That day is for the younger two, but they had four, and all four were, as they said,
Uh,
Babaji sacrificed uh,
mhm.
And
for
it's
the
near
for
India
the
Gate only,
greater
so
good of
people can.
people. Yeah, it is near
It's
So
near
India Gate.
India Gate.
Please do come and see the program. It is going to be one good program. Our children from all the branches of the school that we both belong to, Graduation Public School, we have 14 branches here. All of them are participating. They are presenting. It's going to be a wonderful show. So do join us there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much
thank you
and
so
thank
much.
you so
see
Thank
you
much.
you.
soon. Thank you so
Thank you
much, ma'am.
so
Have a
much.
great day.
Good evening,
Thank you, ma'am.
everyone.
Good
And
evening,
good
ma'am.
night now.
Good night. Bye.
I'm in this broadcast.
Bye.